What's going on, everyone? Lisa here. Thanks for tuning back into my channel here for a new video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about electronics in your 8-scale vehicles, specifically how to just prolong the life of your electronics, your ESC, your motor, receiver, batteries, anything like that in your e-buggy, e-truggy, whatever car you're running. So with the Roar E-Nationals coming up, I'm going to be doing some shakedown runs, some rebuilding, making sure everything's ready to go for that race. So I figured this would be a perfect time to do this video on keeping your electronics lasting as long as possible. So we'll get started. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is this tape that I use. So this is 5mm thick double-sided gel tape. This one is from Kyosho. Now, you can, if you find some on Amazon or any hardware store out there, any high-density foam tape will do fine. Any gel tape like this. As long as you guys get some gel tape, some thick tape like this, I highly recommend picking some up. This tape is, in my opinion, an absolute must-have for your electronics, specifically your ESC. So there's two things why I like to use this tape and why a lot of people like to use this tape is, first, obviously with all this cushion here, as you can see how thick this tape is, all this cushion, when you mount it to your ESC into your car, it's going to absorb a lot of the brunt force and energy from these hard, flat landings, these hard impact landings, stuff like that. So it allows your ESC not to take the maximum amount of force under these harsh landings and conditions. The next thing I like about this tape is when you go to mount this tape, when you go to mount your ESC to this tape and then you mount your ESC to the car, you'll notice that the ESC has a lot of movement. It actually moves quite well on the tape. So it's stuck on there. It's not going to go anywhere, but it's got a lot of movement. It's kind of flexible on this tape, which I really like. It allows, like I said, kind of the same theory with how thick this is that under those hard impact landings and wrecks, the ESC is moving. It's not kind of stuck, it's not really rigid on the car. It allows the energy and the force to kind of move through the ESC and through parts of the car and not have one high area take all that force. So really like using this tape on the ESC. I highly recommend picking some of this up from your local hobby shop or wherever you guys get this from. Like I said, hardware store, Amazon, I'm sure you can find something similar to this. The other thing I like using this tape on is my receiver. Now, like most cars, electric cars out there on the market, the receiver box is pretty tight, right? Once you have your receiver in there with your servo wire, your fan wire, your transponder, it gets pretty tight in there. So I run Sandwall radios, and I use the Sandwall 491 FH4T older receivers, the flat ones with the long antennas, in all my 8-scale vehicles. So I recently started using this tape on my receiver. Now, you can just use normal servo tape and double stack or even triple stack the normal servo tape on the receiver. That is something I've done up until recently when I started using this tape, and I haven't had any issues with my receivers when I was just double stacking or triple stacking. I think using this tape or any high density foam or gel tape is way more important on the ESC. But like I said, if you guys can use it on the receiver, highly recommend doing that. That'll just make sure the receiver lasts as long as possible, the case doesn't crack, etc. So highly recommend picking some of this tape up. Definitely a must-have in my box for my electric vehicles. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the battery. So this is something that I've been doing for quite a while, and I'm not the only one that does this. I know there's a lot of other people that do this, but as you can see here, I actually have some foam pieces on my battery tray here. And I think this absolutely helps tremendously with the battery. Like I said, the battery takes abrupt force too, right? So we're hard landing. It's just the battery here on the tray, and the tray is screwed down to the chassis of the car. So having the foam here essentially is the same thing like the thick tape on the ESC. Just absorbs a lot of the force, a lot of the abrupt landings. Make sure that the battery case doesn't crack, kind of protects the battery, the cells inside the case. So I highly recommend doing that. Now, I ran out, so I had to cut mine in 3 pieces to have enough for the other battery on my 0.1 here. So I highly recommend just doing, and like I said, you can, same as the tape, you can kind of probably pick this up at any hardware store. I ordered mine off Amazon, but Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, any place like that should have some foam. And it doesn't need to be super thick, just some nice cushion here underneath the battery with some double-sided sticky tape on the back side so you can stick it down to your tray. So highly recommend picking some of this up. it's definitely going to help prolong the life of your battery and just kind of give your battery a nice little cushion out there under these hard landings. So that's pretty much it. Just some of the things that I do to kind of keep my electronics lasting as long as possible out there on the track. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's any tips or tricks that you guys have found that have worked for you. I would love to hear about them. I'm always open to new ideas. So I appreciate you guys watching the video. Thanks for all your support. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Give it a like. Share it. Really means a lot. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys at the next one.